Well, all right, let's knock off the first of these mastery practice problems. And here it is right here. There are 32 numbers in this data set. And what you're asked to do is to find the 5-number summary, draw a box plot, and then decide if there are any outliers in that data or not. In its raw form, right, it's not easy, not impossible, but it's not easy to stare at that. It would take a little time and try to decide if there is an outlier or not. And that's the beauty of working with box plots and using your calculator to sort of order this data. So I'm not going to put you through that. I've actually already entered this data into the calculator. And to do that, right, you just go to Stat, you go to Edit of the menu items under Stat, Edit, Calc, and Test. Go to Edit. The first item in Edit is Edit. If you open that up, the lists appear, and one by one, you enter those 32 numbers. If you choose to, you don't have to do that, but if you choose to, you can also sort them. It'll come in handy later. Once you've done that, you go back to Stat. This time you skip over off of Edit over to Calculate. The top menu item under Calculate is one variable stats. You hit that, it'll ask you where's your list, where's the frequency, where's the calc. You have to tell it that I put my data into list 1, I have to tell it that it was in list 1. And once you do that, you ask it to calculate, and it does so. And it spits out an awful lot of information. In particular, it will tell you that the minimum value of x, min x, this is next to the last item on the first page, is 77. That the first quartile is 97.5. I'm going to now scroll down a little bit. The second quartile, also called the medium, I'll call it the medium, in fact I'll call it both. Second quartile, the medium, is 101. The third quartile is 106. And the maximum value, it's called max x, is equal to 123. All right, that was the heavy lifting done for you right there with the calculator. Now let's do this. Let's create a box plot for it. For a box plot, you need a rule. I don't have a rule, but I can sort of make one up real quick. Here's a straight line. Here's 130, 120, 110, 100, 90, and I think if I go down to 80, probably I'll have to go down to 70. Go down to 70 there. This will be fine. So let's go ahead and put this 5-number summary, identify where these points are. So min x is 77. That's about right here. Okay. Q1 is 97.5. I'm going to call that right here, and that's Q1. Q2 is 101 right there. Q2. Q3 is at 106 right here. Q3. And the maximum is at 123. And all I have to do is come across here. Let me draw a little line, another, and let me draw the box plot. There's the box. Here's the whiskers out to the max and the min. I'm going to just translate these numbers over here again one more time. 77, 97.5, 101, 106, and 123. So there's the numbers, first part of the problem. There's the box plot, second part of the problem. The third part of the problem said, are there any outliers? And in order to do that, you have to identify what's called the upper and lower fence. And the upper and lower fence, the upper fence is Q3 plus the interquartile range times 1.5. So let me use the calculator as it was, as you would have hoped to used it. And let me go 106 minus 97.5. And that's equal to 8.5. What I just calculated was this distance right here. This is the IQR, and that's equal to 8.5. So over here, 1.5 times the IQR is equal to 8.5 times 1.5 times 1.5 times, and that's 12.75. So if I add this to that, I get 108.75. Is that what I get? Doesn't seem right. No, I get 118.75, so that's right here. 118.75. This is the upper fence, and it is part of the definition of what constitutes an outlier. In fact, any data point which is above 18.5, and of course less than the maximum, would be considered an outlier by this rule. And if I subtract 12.75 from this, holy Toledo, I might actually have to use the calculator. I get 84.75, and this is the lower fence. Anything in this region is an outlier, anything in this region is an outlier. So clearly 77 is an outlier because it lies beyond this lower fence, and likewise 123 is an outlier because it lies above this upper fence. But let's be careful here, and let's go back into the data. So I've got to go back to stat, I've got to go to edit. I have things sorted now. The data goes 77, the next highest number is 84. Well, 84 is, where is 84? Oh, 84 is an outlier as well too. Okay, so here's 77. There's a data point right here at 84, which is falling in this region as well too. And then let me see, something's bugging me about that. No, that's right. And let me go down to the bottom. The last two values, last three values, if I can get there, are 123 and 118. So there's a value right here at 118, but the fence is just above it at 118.5. So these are the three outliers. 77, 123, and 84. All right, so hope you're beginning to appreciate the usefulness of this calculator. Your job was to get the 32 numbers in and then check them until you're absolutely certain that you got them in correctly, because after that, you're pretty much relying on the calculator. Okay, thanks.